What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the best hybrid setup that you can have for photos and video. So let's jump into it. Let's first discuss what is a hybrid shooter. It's someone who shoots photos and videos, and most people have two cameras. They have their photo camera and then they have their video camera. And maybe this is two different systems, like maybe you're using the 5D Mark IV for photos, and then you have some Sony camera for video, and then you have to have two sets of lenses for both these cameras, and the money can add up, and also the weight on your back, especially if you're traveling and, you know, say you're doing a wedding. Who wants to have two different cameras or three different cameras? That's just a lot of weight on your back. We're not going to be talking about specific brands. Whether you use Leica, Sony, Nikon, Fujifilm, Canon, whatever you use, I personally use a 5D Mark IV Canon and an EOS R, which is what I'm filming this on right now. I personally think that full frame is the way to go if you can afford a full frame camera. If you can't, then it doesn't really matter. You can use a crop sensor camera. It's just going to be a lot harder to get the super wide angle shots, in my opinion. The first lens that I have is 16-35 or 17-40 or the 15-35, which I'm currently filming on right now. And this lens is 2.8 or f4, and I think this is ideal for talking head stuff if you're doing video, if you want to get up close, as well as like landscapes, and just gives you that very wide angle shot, which I think is ideal, especially for photo video. You know, you want to get as close to your subject as possible, especially if you're using an on-camera mic. And this lens is stabilized, which is key, which I honestly love. In addition to all your other lenses or whatever else you want, I honestly think the ideal lenses are a 24-70 to go along with that 16 or 17-40, 35, whatever range that is. It'll give you the 24-70, which gives you the next step, which is honestly the best walk around general use lens that most photographers would use. If you ask pretty much any photographer their number one lens, if they could only have one lens, chances are it'd be the 24-70 2.8. Also, to go along with that, the 70-200 2.8 IS or the 70-200 f4 IS is honestly the next step. To if you have these three lenses, it's going to cover your whole range. And then if you want to get into primes, you can do that. But for the most part, these three lenses will get you by. You don't need anything else, as long as you're not running into like the specialty shots. Yes, you're not going to be able to shoot a super macro shot, or you're not going to be able to get, you know, a crazy bird angle shot. So if you do want to jump into that, you know, super zoom, like super telephoto, you could even grab a extension tube, I think that's what it's called, and that'll give you 2 times. So instead of your 70-200, it'll be a 140 to like 400, which is absolutely mind-blowing, especially that'll fit into your bag. Yes, these are a little bit more expensive, but if you're a hybrid shooter, it's an option. For audio, I just slapped on a Rode Video Micro. It's super tiny, but this microphone, it comes with a dead cat, and it packs a huge punch, in my opinion. A lot of the other microphones are too big to really run and gun, run around with, take photos with. And in my opinion, I've been using this microphone for a couple years, so for me, it's honestly absolutely amazing. It does work, as you can clearly hear, and it's super cheap. It's like $70 Canadian. I think it's like $40-50 US, which is, if it does break, you can just buy a new one. But I honestly love this microphone. It's powered by the internal battery of your camera, so you don't have to worry about the battery in the microphone dying and then you ruining all your audio. So the next thing that's honestly key to have is a variable ND and a polarizing filters. These screw onto your lens, and it allows you to either, it's kind of like sunglasses for your camera. So when it's super bright out and you want to use those apertures like 1.2 or 2.8, especially when you're shooting video, you want to keep that shutter speed low. I actually forgot my variable ND at home right now. You want to keep those shutter speeds low so you can get the most cinematic footage. So these are honestly key. I would get the biggest ones, the biggest thread size that you can, whether that be 82 or 90 something. I forget the one for the 90s. You slap this on your camera and then you could just use step down rings to allow you to use it for each and every one of your lenses, which is honestly ideal. You don't want to buy multiple variable NDs for every one of your lenses because they add up quick. Whew. Walking up this steep hill. Next thing up is buy extra batteries, because if you're moving from 2 cameras to 1 camera, you're gonna need extra batteries because you're gonna run out of juice. Whether that be, you know, 2, 4 batteries, 6 batteries, whatever you need. It's always better to have more batteries, to have more juice than not enough. You never want to be in the middle of a shoot and just run out of battery juice and have to plug it in, find an outlet, plug it in. Hopefully someone doesn't steal your battery. I only use authentic batteries just in case. You never know whether that cheaper battery, half the price, you don't know how it's gonna react. Maybe it's good for like the first 2 months, or the temperature starts to drop, or if the temperature starts to get too hot, that battery might, who knows, it might break, might blow up. I have no idea, I don't use them. I just like to stick to the specific camera brand battery. In my opinion, you're gonna get the best result that way. All right, so those are my tips on the best camera setup for the hybrid shooter. If you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help. And if you have any other tips, or what camera do you personally have, if you use 1 or 2 cameras, leave in the comments below. And until the next video, peace.